Every mobile game wants you to believe it's a competitive esport. Supercell has built a multi-billion-dollar empire on this exact premise. But if you strip away the bright colors, the microtransactions, and the casual marketing, you're left with a cold, mathematical truth. Some of these games require genuine mechanical mastery. Others just require a credit card and a spreadsheet. Today, we're evaluating which Supercell game actually has the highest skill ceiling. We aren't looking at popularity. We're looking at data, execution mechanics, and the sheer probability of a casual player getting wiped out by a professional. First, let's look at the baseline, the casual wall. How long does it take an average player to reach the endgame where skill really comes into play? In Clash of Clans, the metric isn't physical reaction speed, it's time. Reaching a maxed out town hall as a free-to-play casual takes years of calculated resource management. You are battling upgrade timers that last over 2 weeks per building. But we have to be honest, time is not skill, it's a simulation of discipline. A casual player isn't stuck because the game is mechanically too difficult. They are stuck because they haven't logged in every day for 5 years. Clash Royale introduces a completely different artificial barrier, matchmaking algorithms, card levels, and paywalls. A casual player can play perfectly, but if the matchmaking pairs their level 12 deck against a level 14 hard counter, the skill variable drops to 0. Stat inflation overrides strategy. The casual wall here is psychological. It forces you to either grind elite wildcards for months or pull out a credit card just to play on a level playing field. Brawl Stars has the lowest casual wall by design. You can unlock a brawler, jump into a match, and the win condition is entirely mechanical. While power levels matter, a high skill level 9 player can routinely outplay a low skill level 11 player through pure spacing. If a casual loses a match in Brawl Stars, they can rarely blame a 2-week upgrade timer or a paywalled mechanic. They simply missed their shots. To find the highest skill ceiling, we have to split skill into 2 separate categories: macro strategy and micro execution. Clash of Clans is pure macro. It's a static puzzle. Before you drop a single troop, you have a scouting phase. You analyze base layouts, calculate dead zones, predict AI pathing, and script your deployment down to the second. But once your fingers leave the screen, the execution is largely automated. The troops follow their internal code. There is no real-time adaptation if a trap springs unexpectedly. You simply watch your plan succeed or fail. It is a game of premeditated logistics. Clash Royale mixes both. It is speed chess played on a grid. You aren't just placing cards, you are managing a hidden economy. You have to count your opponent's elixir in your head, memorize their 8-card rotation, and place your counters on exact tiles within a half-second window. Placing a skeleton's card 1 tile too far to the left means your tower falls. Placing it perfectly means you pull a P.E.K.K.A into the center and win the trade. The macro is the deck building and economy tracking. The micro is the tile-perfect timing. Brawl Stars removes the grid entirely and focuses on pure micro. It operates like a traditional MOBA or top-down fighting game. It demands real-time spatial awareness, immediate physical reaction times, and constant lane management in a fast-paced 3 versus 3 environment. You aren't playing against an AI pathing system or a fixed grid. You are playing against 3 human brains trying to read your movement patterns and dodge your projectiles in real time. A single misstep doesn't just cost you a tower, it shifts the map control entirely. Skill isn't just about how well you play your favorite strategy, it's about how fast you adapt when Supercell completely breaks the game with a balance patch. Balance updates are frequent, and they radically shift the skill required to win. In Clash of Clans, a meta shift usually means rewriting your strategy spreadsheet. If a specific air troop gets nerfed, the pro community shifts to a ground hybrid format. The skill lies in deep conceptual understanding, knowing how damage per second ratios translate to a new attack style. It takes time to learn, but once the meta is solved, the gameplay stabilizes until the next major update. In Clash Royale, meta shifts can be brutal. If a player spends 6 months mastering a highly technical deck like X-Bow or Minor Poison, and a single patch balance makes their win condition unviable, their mechanical muscle memory is instantly minimized. Suddenly they have to learn an entirely new archetype. The skill cap here is dictated by adaptability, but it's often hindered by how fast you can level up the new meta cards. Brawl Stars requires the highest level of constant fluid adaptability. In a competitive draft format, format, you aren't just dealing with balance changes, you're dealing with map design, game modes, and bans. A strategy that works perfectly in Brawl Ball on an open map is completely useless in Knockout on a walled map. Pros cannot be one-trick ponies. They must master dozens of different brawlers, each with unique projectile speeds, reload rates, and super mechanics. When the meta shifts in Brawl Stars, you can't rely on automated pathing or card rotations to save you. You have to physically learn how to aim all over again. In Clash of Clans, the pro scene is defined by flawless optimization. At the championship level, almost every single attack results in a 3-star clear. The winner isn't decided by who plays better under pressure, but by who finishes their automated attack 5 seconds faster. The pro barrier isn't about outplaying an opponent face to face. It's about flawless execution of a pre-built plan. The margin for error is non-existent, but the gameplay is heavily sterile. In Clash Royale, the pro barrier is gate-kept by psychological warfare and deck matchups. Look at players like Muhammad Light. They don't just play their cards, they read their opponent's mind, predicting card placements before they happen. However, even the best players in the world routinely lose matches simply because their opponent brought a hard counter deck to the draft. This element of rock, paper, scissors inherently lowers the absolute skill ceiling at the professional level because luck can override mechanical perfection. That leaves Brawl Stars. To go pro here, macro knowledge isn't enough. You need flawless physical mechanics, instant reaction times, and near telepathic team coordination. Unlike Clash Royale, a professional Brawl Stars team can be stuck in a bad matchup or facing an unviable draft and still win the set entirely through superior positioning, dodging, and clutch lane control. The game allows for dynamic live outplays that the structural grids and automated systems of the other two games physically prevent. The gap between a casual Masters player and a signed pro is an absolute chasm of physical talent. If we define skill as long-term strategic planning and mechanical optimization, Clash of Clans wins. If we define it as psychological card tracking, elixir management, and grid mathematics, it's Clash Royale. But if we define skill by its purest definition, the ability to consistently defeat another person through superior physical execution, real-time decision-making, and fluid adaptability, entirely independent of luck or automated pathing, the answer is undeniable. Brawl Stars possesses the highest skill ceiling in the Supercell ecosystem.